You're visible. You're visible. You're visible.
All right. All right. I think we just going to jump into it today. Is that what we're doing? We're going to jump into it today. All right. That's how we're rolling today. And it's all good, right? It's all good. So as you can see, I kind of reoriented myself. I'm on my couch in my living room, just relaxing, getting into that live life enjoy show groove. Oh yes, so I guess I'm the opening for today's show. I am the opening for today's show, and I'm up for it, y'all. I am up for it because you know why? Because joy is always present. Joy is always present. So we're going to step into the joy right here and right now. And here we are. So welcome to Live Life Enjoy. I am Red Melissa, and I am your host for today's show and every show that's Live Life Enjoy. So if you see stuff going on in the background, that's my cat, my girl's cat's actually Gravy. You can kind of see him right there in the corner over there. Or I should point over there. Y'all see him in the background. So Gravy is filled with joy. I keep calling him Gravy. I used to have a cat named Gravy. He was gray. So that wasn't a stretch at all, right? But this cat's name is Davy. So you'll see him walking around in the background. So you could give Davy a shout out. Yes? All right. So I am so excited about today's show, y'all. So Live Life Enjoy is a different type of show than my morning sips, right? So my morning sips are every day at 10:30 a.m. So that is my Living Life Enjoy flyer right there. So yes, that's up, and that's where we are right now. So that's what we're doing right now, and it's all good. And so this show is another vehicle, it's another vessel that I use to express joy in the world, right? Because that's my mission in life. My mission is to be a vessel of joy in the world. That is my heart's desire. That is my passion. And that is how I flow. And when you flow like that, you find other people who flow like that too, who are about that live lit life. And so someone who is in that live lit life is someone I have known for many moons. So we don't have to talk about numbers of years. We just, you know, we were neighbors. We were neighbors across the street from each other in Brooklyn. And that was all it took. That was all it took. And over the years, we have been through some things. We've been through some things with each other, and we have always been there for each other. I call him my soul brother, and he is that and so much more. He is an incredible artist. He is a jewelry maker. He's an author. He's a writer. He's a journalist. He is the visionary of Hero Hoodies. I love what he says he is. One sentence, he says, hashtag doing my best to be my own hashtag hero. And that really summarizes him so perfectly. So without further ado, please welcome to Live Life Enjoy, my soul brother, Sekou Writes in the house. All right.
What up?
Hey!
I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Hey, Deborah.
Hey, Deborah. Hey, y'all. Oh, my jacket is entangled? Okay.
Enticing, I think. I think she means enticing. Let's go with nicely.
Okay. Okay, let's go with that. Let's
Many
go with
hats.
that.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it.
Yes, many, many hats.
Many hats.
So if you don't know, we're gonna let a little secret out the bag today.
Yeah, let the
So
secret out
Sekou is also the producer of my shows.
Ta-da!
He's the producer of Live Life Enjoy, and he's also the producer for Morning Sip. So he is my left hand man for real, for real. So welcome, Sekou, from the backstage to the front stage.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And sorry for the glitch right there, but I think it worked out. I liked you like talking and opening the show and then doing the video drop and then coming back with me. It kind of felt right.
It felt right to me too.
Right.
I think we're going to do that.
That's right.
I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be it. So let's get into it because, Sekou, I said you were a lot of things: author, playwright, songwriter, jewelry maker, poet, journalist, writer. Whew, I'm just like, where's my fan? I'm just like, my goodness.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So tell me.
There's a lot of hats. Yeah.
Yes.
So I used to be a little bit frustrated about it, to be honest with you. I used to say that phrase, a jack of many trades, master of none. I used to be really frustrated about all these things that I did. But in this recent space, really since the quarantine, I've started embracing all the things that I do. Hence that sentence that you pulled out, doing my best to be my own hero, because I'm incorporating all the various pieces of me into this one whole. And what helped me a lot was I've done a lot of reading recently, and a lot of things that people say about becoming wealthy is they have multiple streams of revenue, right? And I was like, oh wait, I already have that. If I stop being frustrated about it, I already have that. I've got, these revenue streams that are disparate, but they all come to me and they're all meaningful to me. And so I just had to change my attitude about it. And so I've been able to embrace all the many things that I do and not be frustrated that I do so many things.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And I love that because, the universe is very diverse, right? The universe isn't one thing.
Right.
So why do we need to be one thing? We can be as diverse and as varied in our expressions of who we are as we desire, right? Because that's what joy is all about. So you said you had to change your attitude. So tell me about that journey for you.
Yeah. So basically, I'm getting an echo. I'm trying to figure out where the echo's coming from. If I could fix that. So my frustration was around feeling like I hadn't chosen a thing, like kind of chosen one thing and gotten very far on that one thing, sticking to that one thing. And so the pivot for me, I'll tell a funny story. Like I was talking to one of my boys from college about, in a minimalist way about myself. Like I'm only doing this small thing. And he started laughing, like hysterically. And I was like, what's funny, bro? He was like, what's funny is that you minimize yourself in that way. Like, and he started listing the things that I do, and not just the things that I do, but the various amounts of success I've achieved in all these different spaces. And he was like, name somebody else that can do all those things, that is able to do all those things. And I was like, okay, fair point. And then I often get people asking me how I do something. That happens a lot. I'm like, what do you mean how? I just did it. Like, I don't know how to answer that. But then to them, they're really like, no, how though? But what were the steps? I'm like, I don't know. I just did it. And so then that helped tune me into the fact that I'm doing things maybe easily that other people don't find to be so easy. And so that helps me think of these things as gifts. So I am I'm using all my gifts and combining them as much as I can to be of service to others. And that's the other major pivot. And you talked about that today in SIP. Like when in doubt, give is what you're saying. And so for me, I had this doubt about doing all these different things, but combining them to give and be of service in a few different ways has been very helpful to me.
Yes. So you mentioned you made the distinction of trying and quickly replace that with doing. And so I know that you are the visionary behind the whole hashtag doing movement also. So what brought that to be? Why did you feel that having the vibration of doing be so present for you was what you needed?
Yeah, I felt like I wanted to make a change. Like I just wanted to make myself a better person. And I wanted to not talk about it, think about it. I just wanted to do it. And so for me, the mantra of doing was very helpful to me, right? And the more I just started saying to myself, doing, the more I would end up doing something in the moment as opposed to sitting back and thinking about it, sitting back and planning. And eventually I started putting it on things. First it was, in my journal, it was on a piece of paper. And then I put it on a t-shirt, I put it on a hoodie, and then other people started seeing it and say, hey, I want one of those. Now I just made it for me that when I looked in the mirror, I could say, let's just go ahead and do something. But other people wanted them. And so now, I've got kind of a clothing line, this doing clothing line that just kind of happened because other people have things that they want to be reminded of that they're doing. And so there's an energy there of not trying, doing. And also, it's an acronym, and people have made up their own words for the acronym. So I've never said what the acronym is for me. I'm keeping that on lock. But other people have created their own acronyms for what it means for them. And that's been really inspiring. And lots of people have been inspired by my doing movement to go do something. And that's very gratifying.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think I made up an acronym, the meaning of it, but now I don't remember what it was. Yeah. But it's so cool because another acronym that has inspired so many, including me, I had a whole series because I was so inspired by the Hero Hoodie movement. And I see you're rocking the Hero Hoodie. What's the acronym for Hero?
Yeah, heroes everywhere.
He's going in, y'all. He's going in.
Yeah, helping everyone reaps optimism. And so that came about because there was an article that called me a hero of COVID early in the days of COVID. And it was about how I was using my gift as a playwright to uplift and inspire people at the time. But I felt a little bit self-conscious about being called a hero. I was like, ooh. Like that's kind of big. That's kind of big. And so what I did to make it a size that I could hold was to turn it into an acronym, which is helping everyone reach optimism. And that's about when I started volunteering with the unhoused. And that turned into this Hero Hoodie movement. It just kind of grew because the very first time I volunteered with the unhoused was just in March of last year. And now it's, blossomed into this Hero Hoodie movement with hoodies and hats and neck scarves. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, the idea is to be able to gift the unhoused with brand new clothing. So initially that's hoodies, like brand new hoodies that they can wear to keep them warm, but also so they can have this affirmation on their chest all the time as a reminder to themselves and a reminder to other people that are looking at them. Because what's on your chest is impactful to other people. People read what's on your chest, and sometimes they say what's on your chest. And so I wanted them to have this wearable affirmation.
Oh, yes. And the Congregation of Joy was all up in the Hero Hoodie movement. So I'm proud to say that I was the very first team leader, and our Congregation of Joy showed out. And so the Hero Hoodie movement has expanded across the United States. So tell me what's going on, Sekou.
Yeah.
What is going on? What's next?
Yeah. So yes, you were the first team captain, and that's before we even started calling it team captains. I said that I wanted to give, at the time, 10 hoodies to this event that was coming up called Hoodies for the Homeless, run by Project Love Strong. And that was my goal, to give them 10 hoodies, 10 brand new hoodies, well, 5 and 5, but 10 hoodies, right? But you took that goal and made it your own and gave it to the Congregation of Joy and far exceeded that. And that became the template for a team captain. And then other people started saying, hey, I want to be a team captain. And I was like, well, there it is. Team hero. and then 10 was your original goal, and the plus all the numbers past that you went, and then the team name became Joy. And people started reaching out to me asking about how to become a team captain. And I was like, okay, let me figure out what that means. And so I am still figuring out what that means. But as I figure out what that means, more and more people say, listen, I want to help. I believe in what you're doing. How can I help, and how can I be a part of it? And so now there's team captains in many different cities. There's multiple team captains here in Nashville, where I am right now. And the newest team captain is in Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to Jacinta. Shout out to Lenora in Mississippi. There's so many folks now. I was making a list last night, and I got scared. Look at all these team captains. So the idea, in terms of what's next, is to activate the team captains and give them specific marching orders. I've been lax about that only because I'm just freaked out by how big it is. But Lenora and Jacinta, they've been on me. They've been like, yo, what's good? What we doing? What we doing? And that's great. And so just in terms of how the divine works and how all the things come together, if it weren't for team captains like you and Lenora and Jacinta and people who nudge me, I might have let you hoodies go a long time ago. I might have even let it go now, even though it contained so many things. It's done so much. But I'm responsible to other people now. They're like, hey, we're doing this. So what's next? Give us our marching orders. And that keeps me. So shout out to all the team captains. I appreciate you. If you want to be a team captain, holler at your boy. We'll stay tuned.
Yes. And one of the, Sekou, one of my other favorite words besides joy is yes. And so you just keep saying yes. You just keep saying yes. And it's a wonderful thing to bear witness to, It really is.
Yeah. I keep saying yes, but I don't want people to get confused. I still have lots of moments where I'm like, oh. So I am building the muscle of yes. But what's even more difficult for me is to build the muscle of consistency. Like after I say yes, and after I make a pivot, and I'm good at making pivots because you made that list of things that I do. I'm good at pivoting and then saying yes to the opportunity, but then being consistent with it. Like that's a bit of a challenge for me. And so it's so helpful to me that the universe decided that there would be team captains and that they would raise their hands and volunteer to help me move this thing along. Because, otherwise I don't know. So I'm grateful to how the universe has ordered itself to help me stay connected to my yes.
Hey, yes. So yes to all of that. Yes to all of that. Yeah. And Sekou, it is also a demonstration of how important it is to have a community around you. And I often refer to you as my purpose partner because you have to have someone around you to reflect back to you what it is that you say that you're about and who you are, and part of the hero movement does that for people. It demonstrates that you matter, that your presence here makes a difference. It doesn't matter what your situation is, how much money you have, whatever it may be, that doesn't define you, right? You are a hero. And I just think that's just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And that you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait because I've always thought, well, let me make this point. I have given money to charities for years. I make jewelry, as you mentioned, and I give 10% to different charities. But this was one of the first times I really volunteered my time and my energy and my presence. And that made such a significant difference in impact. And so to finish my original thought, I was thinking later down the line, I'll do more. But it doesn't have to be later down the line. I can do more. I could do something right now. And originally my something was to donate 10 hoodies, 5 hero hood, brand new hero hoodies and 5 used hoodies. That was the entirety of my goal. And now it's taken on a life of its own. So you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how the universe is going to connect to you and your yes until after you do it. So you got to do it. And you don't have to wait until later. You can do it now and see what the universe does for you.
Absolutely. It's that space of this or something better.
Yes.
It's that wonderful space of this or something better. So I have, as you know, joy questions. I have 3 joy questions. And I have an infinity for the number 3. And so here are the 3 questions. So 1, what does joy look like to you?
It's a shame that I knew the questions and I'm still unprepared. So I'm the producer on the show. I know the questions and still I'm caught off guard. Well, let me think. So what does joy look like to me? Man, so I think I've said it in this space, and that's a complete surprise to me. I think what joy looks like to me right now is being connected to something purposeful, that's of service, and being unable to disconnect from it because other people are connecting, keeping me connected. So that's like joy to me. Right? Every time I connect to Hero Hoodies, I feel plugged into all these other folks, and that keeps me engaged in the act of service and the idea of joy. Yeah, so that's what it looks like right now.
Love it. So what do you do that brings you joy?
What do I do that brings me joy? And again, shame on me. I'm not having answers to these questions. Shame on me. What do I do? So I have, at the very beginning of my doing movement that we talked about, I started working out again. I had worked out in the past. I'm kind of gotten away from it. And I started working out again. And I've been really consistent. I've missed some days here and there, but by and large, I've been really consistent about working out in some way, finding a way to move my body some way every day. And I have a fallback plan, not a plan B, but a fallback plan. I have an ideal of things that I want to do, but if that doesn't work, I've got a fallback plan. And that helps me get something done, at least get on the board so I don't do nothing. So doing that brings me joy. Today, I jogged this morning, and I hadn't been jogging in like a week, and I've been really feeling some kind of way about it. And I got out there, and I found myself grinning while I was jogging. I was like, why am I smiling? I was just happy to be out there and to feed my body. And I ran a time better than my high school time, which is like, what? Like after taking a week off. And so maybe my body was like, just needed a break. Maybe my body just needed a break. So those 2 things gave me joy, that I got out there, that I was feeding my body, and it fed me back by helping me run faster.
Fabulous. And so the last one is, what is your joy song?
Yeah, so this one was easy. This one I was prepared for. So a long time ago in a previous life, I wrote songs. And to be clear, I co-wrote songs. Like some people have called me a songwriter. I just want to make sure people know that I worked with someone. So I worked with Gina Calloway. She's a friend of mine from here in Nashville. She lives in Atlanta now. And so I did what I considered the easy part. I wrote the lyrics, and then I'd give it to Gina, and she would like blow life into it. Like, the melody and the music, and she'd sing a reference track. And then since then, we've had other people sing the song, including it in a play at Fisk last year called Brown Boy Mad. So she and I created this song called Blessed a long time ago. And a friend of mine got married, and we had another friend, a Spelman classmate of mine, sing the song. Her name is Chandra. And she came to the wedding with a keyboard, and she sang the song. So my joy song is Blessed, that I can claim 50% responsibility for. And so I'm happy that I can say that I co-wrote a song. That's fun.
Yes. So do you have a snippet? Let's show a snippet of Blessed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen, and since I'm doing this at the same time that I'm being interviewed, it's going to take me a few seconds while I'm tap dancing while I talk right now while I'm getting queued up.
All right.
Well, here we go.
Here we go, y'all.
Blessed. Yeah. So that's a quick little snippet.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. Shout out to
And
Shonda.
I know that part of the song is it can be about someone that you're in love with. It could be God blessing you. It could be so many different things that you might need at a particular time.
Yeah, so in terms of the lyrics, I tried to make it a bit ambiguous, so that it could mean anything to anybody. And it's funny that you say that, because when I brought it to Fisk as a part of Brown Boy Mad, the student who sang it made that comment. She's like, "Yeah, this could be a love song, but this could also be a gospel song. This could be so many different things."
Yeah.
And to use her words, she said, "You did your thing with the lyrics. You did your thing with the lyrics."
Beautiful. Well, Sekou, it's been a joy for me to have this conversation with you, to have you on the show, to have you in the front scenes instead of in the back scenes,
Right.
and to just spend this joy time together. So we're going to continue the show. Your shout out, Sekou. Sekou, tell folks where they can find hero hoodies, where they can find jewelry, all that wonderful stuff.
So let's just send people to one place. Follow me on Instagram at Sekou Writes. If you want to go to my website, it's just SekouWrites.com. So those are the two places where you can find me. If you don't know how to spell my name, just go to GiveHeroHoodies.com. It'll take you to the same place.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Sekou. Thank you. So we're going to keep the joy news going. We're going to keep the joy news going because you know what Sunday was? Sunday was the Super Bowl. And I'm not a big Super Bowl person. You know, I'm like many people, just want the commercials and halftime, right? And and I was disappointed by the team that won. I was rooting for the Buccaneers. If I had to root for somebody, I was going to root for them. But I was all in for the commercials. And so one of the commercials they showed was from Michelob Ultra, and they had the hashtag Joy Wins, and that caught my attention right away when I went to look at it on YouTube. And so I'm going to show that full commercial, and then I just want to pull out some of the things that they said in the commercial. So let's key that up, producer. Oh, we don't have any sound. Okay, so while we figured out that thing with the sound, there's a couple of things that they say in the commercial that I think are wonderful questions that I might start to incorporate in my joy questions. So one of the questions is, what if happiness has always been there? What if happiness has always been there, fueling the run towards greatness? What if happiness has always been there, that has been the thing that has been propelling you to greatness? Another question asks is, what if joy is the whole game? I think we got it, y'all.
Wrong in thinking that joy happens only at the end. After the sacrifice, after the commitment, after the win. What if happiness has always been there, fueling the run toward greatness? It's not a distraction, but instead something more vital. What if joy is the whole game, not just the end game? So ask yourself, are you happy because you win? Or do you win because you're happy?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Ah, I love that. Are you happy because you win, or do you win because you're happy? And then what if joy is the whole game, not just the end game? And so that's what I subscribe to. Joy is the whole game. It's not the end game. Why wait until the end and then be like, okay, now I could be happy. Now I could feel joy, So sometimes we delay feeling joy or happiness, right? Until we got the result. It's the joy is not in the result, y'all. The result is a future state. Joy is in the present moment. And so all of those different scenes that they showed of the different athletes, they were in the present moment, right? Having joy, feeling happy. They weren't delaying their happiness. And I really do believe that the win is in being happy. Are you happy because you win, or do you win because you're happy? I say you win because you're happy. Joy always wins. So Michelob Ultra, although I don't drink beer, that hashtag joy wins is everything to me. So take those questions into contemplation for yourself. What if happiness has always been there, fueling the run towards greatness? What if joy is the whole game, not just the end game? And are you happy because you win, or do you win because you're happy? Oh, that's so great. That's so great. And I especially love the scenes with Serena and her friends, or I don't know if they were actors, but they were having a good time. They were having a good time. So shout out to the Super Bowl commercials are winning, are winning. And so something else that happened at the Super Bowl, someone who is living their life in joy, they are doing it, is DJ D Nice. Do y'all know DJ D Nice? Oh my goodness. So he was already nice, y'all. He was already nice. And then when COVID happened, he started doing club quarantine on Instagram. And he would have hundreds of thousands of people tuning in, watching him DJ, playing fabulous music, and people would be dancing and carrying on. There were celebrities that were on. It was like, it was madness, and it was greatness. It was greatness. And he was doing something that he loves, that brings him joy. And it has elevated him even more because he was the DJ, the official DJ for the Super Bowl. Come on now, y'all. He was the official DJ for the Super Bowl, and he was doing his thing. So we're going to let DJ Nice end the show for us. I hope you had a good time. And please do what brings you joy. Don't wait until the end. Declare it now. Live life in joy now. Doing that thing that brings you joy now, and share it with the world. Give it away. Give it away. Oh, yes. So, D Nice, take us out. Sekou, thank you so much for being my special guest today. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Living life in joy, 12 noon Eastern time. Join me tomorrow for Morning Sip with Red Melissa, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, because we are in the Flow series, and you flow with joy. Oh, yes.
The NFL is absolutely trying to create the atmosphere that you would be accustomed to in the Super Bowl. We got tremendous music. D Nice, shout out, Boogie Down Productions on the ones and twos, Nate. He's getting busy. He was cooking during the quarantine, having sessions on social media, and now he is here rocking the crowd. What a day! Listen, I feel like I'm in an episode of Quantum Leap.